Now, last class we discussed this question, right? You said you want a revision on this constituent assembly debate. Remember?
Yes.
So we will do this also.
Yes.
Write a short note on constituent assembly debate. Even if it's a short note, you can give one intro and conclusion. That is completely fine. So in intro, you can write what is constitution. Constitution is the supreme law of land in India. It provides for fundamental political code, fundamental rights, directive principles, and duties of citizen. That means it gives us some rights. It tells us what are our obligations or duties, and it also provides some directive principles for government and a fundamental political code. What kind of a country India is, what will be the form of government, how government will be elected, all that stuff is mentioned in Constitution of India, and it is supreme law of land. Supreme means apex, it's on top, all right? Nothing is above Constitution. All the other laws will come under Constitution. They need to follow whatever is written under the Constitution of India, all right? So like that, you can write one intro. Then, what is Constitution of India? Constitution of India is one of the lengthiest written constitutions of the world. So Indian Constitution is in a written form, right? If you find, okay, Indian Constitution Bare Act, you will get the entire document. What is there inside Constitution, you get to see that. And it is so elaborate, right? There are so many provisions, 448 articles are there. It's like this big, okay? So Indian Constitution is what? It is a written constitution, and it is one of the lengthiest written constitutions of the world. It was framed by a constituent assembly, okay? So someone will have to write it, someone will have to draft it, right? So who drafted it? It was drafted or framed by an assembly called Constituent Assembly, okay? Who set up this assembly? It was under Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946. Cabinet Mission Plan is basically a plan under which it was decided how powers will be transferred to Indian leadership from British. All right. So all of a sudden they cannot just give all the powers to one person. We need that it is properly transferred to persons, it is properly decided and everything. So Cabinet Mission Plan decided to set up this Constituent Assembly for framing of the Constitution, right? For framing and drafting of the Constitution. And in what happened is Constituent Assembly set up 22 different committees. Why it was done? Because it will not be possible that one person or 2-3 persons have knowledge on all these different areas, right? So there were different committees to look after different areas, to look after different provisions that will be inserted inside Constitution. So there were in total 22 different committees that were framed. All of them had to submit some reports with regard to the specific area, right? So if you are being given this area that, okay, you decide with regard to Supreme Court, where Supreme Court will be located, how it will function, how it will operate, and all that stuff. So you need to prepare one report regarding Supreme Court and you need to submit that. If I am been given this thing that I need to decide with regard to maybe division of powers between union and center, I need to look after that. So 22 different committees prepared reports on that specific area and they submitted it to the drafting committee. After that, drafting committee prepared a draft constitution, right? Draft as in it's not final version, but they basically prepared a draft of how the constitution would look like. So accordingly, draft was prepared. But after this draft was prepared and it was published in 1948, they gave a duration of time. 8 months time was given to people that you can go through that published constitution, you can read it. If you feel anything is missing or something needs to be modified or something, you can accordingly suggest them that these are the things that need to be changed, these are the things that can be improved or things like that, right? If you have any suggestions, if you want any amendments, you can let the drafting committee know about it. And during this 8 months time, they received a total of 7,635 suggestions, out of which they debated on 2,473. What is debate basically? You will put forward your point, I will put forward my point, and then we both will argue, right? And then we will come to a conclusion. So basically, they discussed and debated on all these 2,473 suggestions or amendments that were suggested. Total time spent was 114 days. All right, they spent 114 days to debate on these suggestions that they received, that what is good, what is bad, what we can incorporate, what we cannot incorporate. All right, and after all of these debates are known as constituent assembly debates, and they are published in different volumes, right? That we have. So that part you can write. And then significance of constituent assembly debate. Why are we reading these debates now, right? After so many years, it was of 1948 or something. So why are we reading these debates now? What is the significance? Because they help us understand intention or motive of framers of constitution behind adding a certain provision, right? If you see, okay, fine, this is a fundamental right that is given under constitution, right? You may not understand the logic. Why is it given here? Why is it there in constitution? You can always go back, refer to the debates. You will understand why they gave it, what was their intention or motive behind adding that specific provision. All right, so constituent assembly debates help us understand the intention or motive of framers of constitution behind adding a certain provision. All right, most of the law libraries make these volumes available to their readers. That means if you go to a law library, most probably you will see these constituent assembly debates as well. They are available in big volumes. Constituent assembly debates may also help in interpretation of specific provision of constitution. If we are not understanding why this provision was inserted, what is the true meaning of this provision, we can go back, refer to the debates, and we can again understand what they wanted to mean by inserting this provision. All right, so those things you can write, and then finally you can end with a conclusion that constituent assembly debates are of great value even today. To understand constitutional law better, students and legal researchers can heavily rely on different volumes of this debate, and you can conclude your answer. Is it clear, or is it something that is difficult to relate?
It's easy only, ma'am.